All right, let's talk about making data visible. Today, we're going to dive into why the charts and graphs that we see every single day might actually be completely invisible to millions of people. And more importantly, what we can do to change that.
I mean, think about it. We are just flooded with data constantly. And to make any sense of it, we lead on charts, graphs, and maps, right? They're supposed to turn all those complicated numbers into these clear, simple, visual stories.
And you know, when they're done well, data visualizations are absolutely incredible. They let us spot patterns and make discoveries in a flash. A quick look at a chart like this can tell you a story that would take pages and pages of text to explain otherwise. But here's the thing, clear to whom? That is the big question, isn't it? We just assume that if a visual is clear to us, it must be clear to everyone. But is that really true? The whole promise of the digital age was access for everybody. But for a lot of people, that promise is still just, well, it's empty. 61 million. Let that number sink in for a second. That's how many adults in the United States alone are living with some form of disability. That is a massive audience that, most of the time, we are completely, even if unintentionally, shutting out.
And that's the real gut punch here. For this huge slice of the population, the data visualizations we create are failing. The amazing insights we think we're sharing are totally locked away. They're effectively invisible. And that's something we have to fix.
You know, for the longest time, whenever data people talked about accessibility, their brains usually jumped to one thing: colorblindness. The main rule was just, don't use a red-green palette. But the reality is so much bigger than that.
Okay, now this is really interesting. This chart connects all the dots for us. On the left, you've got different kinds of disabilities. And on the right, you see all the different parts of design they touch. Just look at how something like a cognitive disability connects not just to the visuals, but to the story you're telling, or how motor disabilities completely change how you have to think about interaction. It shows you accessibility isn't some little side issue. It is woven into every single thing we do as designers.
So we've got to expand our thinking, right? We're talking about a huge spectrum. Of course, there are visual impairments, things like low vision or total blindness. But there are also motor disabilities, where someone might not be able to use a mouse. Cognitive disabilities like dyslexia. And you know what? Even temporary things we've all probably dealt with, like a migraine that makes staring at a bright screen just impossible.
So you might be thinking, okay, I get it. Can't we just, throw some AI at this, automate a fix? It's a tempting thought. But the problem with these so-called quick fixes is that they almost always miss the single most important ingredient: context.
Okay, let's try a little exercise. Take a good look at this chart. Now, if you had to describe it to someone who couldn't see it, what would you say? What is the most important story this chart is telling?
Well, a basic automated tool might just spit out this line chart, which, sure, it's not wrong, but it's also completely useless for understanding anything about the data. This is the kind of alt text that, frankly, doesn't help anyone.
Okay, so a slightly better attempt might focus on the big takeaway for, say, an executive. Something like this: Product A is crushing it. Great, that works if you just need a quick summary.
But hang on, what if you're not an executive? What if you're a data analyst? For you, the real story might be this trend right here, the fact that everything took a nosedive until June. The overall pattern is the key, not just one product.
And then, what if this was for a design portfolio? Well, then the focus would be totally different. You'd be talking about the fonts and the color choices. You see the problem? All of these descriptions are technically correct, but they serve completely different purposes. Only a human understands the intent of the chart, and you just can't automate that.
And that's why just relying on automation is, well, it's kind of like this. This is this haunting art installation of a robot that's just endlessly mopping up its own fluid leak. We are creating inaccessible messes with our tools way faster than any algorithm can ever hope to clean them up. We simply can't automate empathy.
So if automation isn't the silver bullet, then what is? The answer isn't a new tool or a simple checklist. It's a fundamental change in how we think. We have to stop trying to patch things up at the end and start designing with intention right from the very beginning.
So what does this new mindset actually look like in practice? Well, the Do No Harm Guide gives us some fantastic principles to start with. First, build accessibility in from the get-go. Don't just tack it on at the end. Make it part of everyone's job, not just one person's problem. And this one is absolutely critical. Involve users with disabilities in your process. Their lived experience is priceless. Remember the phrase, nothing about us without us. And finally, you have to accept that context is king. There's no single right answer that works for everyone, every time.
Now, a good mindset is absolutely key. But let's be real, we're all busy, and if our tools make it hard to do the right thing, we're probably going to take the easy way out. So the trick is to choose tools that make accessible design the path of least resistance.
And the tools we use, man, they make a huge difference. This chart here maps out a bunch of different visualization tools, looking at both their built-in accessibility and their potential for doing really great accessible work. And as you can see, it's all over the map. Some tools down in that bottom left corner make it almost impossible, while the ones in the top right are really leading the chart.
So the next time you're picking a tool, you've got to be a smart shopper. Ask some tough questions. Does it support things like redundant encoding? Using both color and a unique shape to tell things apart. Are its default color palettes safe? Can you actually find accessible examples in their help docs? And can your users download the raw data themselves? These are the signals. They tell you if the people who made the tool actually care about this stuff. And listen, this isn't just on the folks who make the tools. It is on all of us as a community of users. We need to stop sharing those really cool-looking but totally inaccessible hacks and instead start building and sharing templates that are accessible from the start. We have to be the ones pushing the tool makers to get better instead of just shrugging and accepting the defaults.
So in the end, it all boils down to one simple but really powerful question you have to ask yourself. When you create a chart, when you build a dashboard, is your data speaking to everyone, or are you leaving people out? Because making data visible isn't just about splashing some colors on a screen. It's about making it understandable, usable, and truly visible to everyone.